These are all the things that I cannot live without as a Tesla owner. You know, I've been very vocal and honest about the fact that there are a lot of pros and a lot of cons with owning a Tesla, but all of these items in this video are absolutely necessary in not only helping you enjoy driving your Tesla, but also keeping it protected and maximizing all that this car does offer. I'm gonna link everything down below, but I will say a lot of these accessories actually work really well in any car. I use the same things in my Audi as well, so these are tried and true, trusted, tested, and vetted things I cannot live without. When you get your Tesla, you have to buy yourself some all-weather floor mats, but not the ones from Tesla. They're way too expensive, and when I went to buy them after I bought this, they were out of stock, as things often are on the Tesla shop website. The materials in this Tesla are not that great. So buying a lot of this stuff that I'm gonna tell you guys about is crucial in order to preserve all the, you know, the shiny metal, the plastic, and the plastic. These are super heavy duty. They're easy to clean. I just take them out, hose them down, and put them right back in. They're awesome. So moving into the trunk, let's talk about the trunk liner. I haul a lot of materials. I'm renovating a house, so I am always going to Lowe's or Home Depot, dragging stuff in and out of my car, and it's really important for me to not have it damage the carpet. This trunk liner has been great for that. It's not made out of that tough rubber that the floor mats are made of, and I prefer it because things can slide on top of it. The rubber really is impossible to slide anything. It cleans up pretty nicely. I have spilled a ton of stuff back here, including milkshakes and also a can of paint, an entire can of paint in the trunk of this car. It's cleaned up pretty well, all things considered. You really have to get a cup holder liner for this car because the plastic, the cup holder area gets scratched so easily. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to cover all of this. Tesla likes their cup holder holes really tight. So when you put a cup liner in, it will be tight, but I did test it with a bunch of different things before I landed on this cup holder, and this one does fit really well, and you can still fit fast food cups or water bottles, and what I like about this was it pops out really, really easily, and I just throw it in the dishwasher if something spills or gets sticky in here, which is so convenient versus having to dig my hand in these holes and clean it out myself. I am beyond paranoid, and for good reason, that this screen is going to get burned up and melted by the sun. If this screen breaks, I cannot drive the car. So it's very important to me to make sure this is protected, and I do that two different ways. The first way is with this white screen. It's almost like a sock. The reason why is not only does the white bounce off light if there's any light hitting it, but if I'm loading in boxes or it hits the screen, it's not gonna shatter. And the other reason why I do it is I'm super paranoid that someone's gonna steal my dog. I use dog mode all the time in this car, and the screen will tell you, you know, my driver will be back in a minute. And so I cover the screen when I use dog mode because I don't want anybody to know there's a dog in here. That's just an OCD paranoia headspace that I live in constantly. I also have one of these retractable sunshades. I'll link the one that I got down below. I tried a couple actually, and I didn't like all of them, but this one was my favorite one. This has actually done a really great job keeping the temperatures down inside the car. Your Tesla does come with some of the windows tinted, especially on the trunk and the back seat windows. But I'm just telling you right now, you're gonna wanna get more windows tinted in this car because it gets sweltering inside of this car. I think it's because the roof is made of glass. I know that's a huge complaint from a lot of Tesla owners that it's just way too hot to drive this car. And I have seen temperatures inside get up to 90+ degrees with the air blowing at top speed. So I had to invest, I think, the $1,200, and I got the roof tinted slightly, not too much, but just enough to cut through that heat with a UV film as well. Then I tinted the front seat windows, and I also put a UV film on the windshield as well. Additionally, I added tint to the trunk window, and I don't know if I would do that again because you can barely even see out of the back of my car right now, but get your windows tinted, especially if it's summer. You will thank me later. The connectivity to my car and my phone is abysmal. I hate using my phone to operate this car, so I ended up purchasing the key fob to go with the car. It was pricey. It was like $250. I am bitter about the fact that this car costs so much money and it doesn't come with one of these already, but I will tell you it works really, really well, except for the fact that the battery dies really fast in the key fob. Mine currently is dying and I have to replace it. But being able to actually get in my car and access my car quickly, or if I'm in the rain, I don't have any delays. If I use my phone to get in my car, it'll take me at least 45 seconds to a minute, which doesn't seem like a lot of time, but when you're in the rain, it's a lot of time. Yes, I do have the little white key card that comes with the this car. I haven't found it to be the most reliable either. A girlfriend of mine borrowed my car who has a Tesla, and she was somewhere in LA, had to call me to unlock the car from my app because the key card wasn't working either. But if you have a key card and you like using it, I do have this key card holder that it's like a keychain that connects to your keys that I really enjoyed having. It was a lot handier than trying to pull it out of a wallet. Since I'm sitting here, let's talk about my little insurance and registration organizer that I bought. I love this thing. I don't know if you're like me in that you are constantly digging to find your insurance information and your registration when you need it. Fun fact, you will probably get a speeding ticket in this car. I have never gotten a speeding ticket in my life until I bought this car. Just go ahead and prepare yourself and get your stuff organized. What I love about this, it allows me to keep both my registration and my insurance together in one place, and it has clear pockets. So if I want to show it to someone easily, it's easy for them just to see both. Keeps it protected from spills. I love this phone charging cord, which I know is a weird thing to say because who cares about a phone charging cord? I care. The reason why I like it is it's a super fast charging cable, and I just hit myself in the face. It's short, and the head of it where it plugs in to your USB-C port is angled, so you're not bending the cord in order to use it. I go through so many phone chargers because you plug it in and then you bend it constantly. This fits flush up against the plug-in port. It's held up really well. I will link it down below. One of the things that I really do love about this car is the amount of storage that you get. There are all kinds of cubbies and pockets and places to store things. So I did purchase a lot of different storage solutions in order to maximize all of the storage. In the front seat, there are two major storage pockets. There's the one at the front that is a labyrinth. It's like Alice in Wonderland down there. It's so deep, and it's easy for that space to become a junk drawer. So I bought this fabric liner. It's almost like a shelf that slides back and forth. It fits perfectly in there and allows you to have access to smaller items. So you don't have to dig your whole hand into a cavernous hole to try to find a quarter. Do people even have quarters these days? I don't know. Then I purchased this storage caddy console for the armrest. Again, it just keeps all the small things that you need more organized. There's also this very discreet hidden pocket in your Tesla. It's right under the armrest, and there is something I'm gonna buy next that is like a secret pouch that slides into this slot so that you can hide something that's a little bit more discreet. I'll link that down below, but I'm also gonna be buying that myself. But my favorite purchases are these storage bins that go underneath the seat. Reason being that you have a ton of storage underneath your seats, and things definitely, first of all, get lost under there, but also it would be such a waste of space if you didn't actually have opportunities to store things. So I use these for things like umbrellas. A lot of my dog stuff goes under the seat, and these fit perfectly. So it's like the person in the back seat can access them, and then the person in the front seat can access them too. They also have liners in them, so if something spills, I can take it out, easily wash it, and plop it back in. Okay, let's move into the trunk. In your Tesla, you have these oddly shaped little cubby holes on each side above the wheels. Again, kind of a weird use of space. So I bought these boxes that fit perfectly into these slots. Not only because it lines, again, the carpet in the back, and these holes are fully carpeted, which doesn't work really well for my lifestyle. I learned my lesson the hard way. I put these rubber liners in here. That way, again, if something spills back here, I can clean up really easily. And what I love is that they come with tops with lids that fit perfectly on top, so that it looks like the floor of your trunk goes all the way to the corners now versus before where you had these big holes. So now you can store even more stuff on top. There's another interesting nook in the back seat that is kind of dead space. So I bought this little plastic container that fits in that right behind the armrest space that has Velcro, so it sticks to the carpet really easily, and it's just another great place to throw extra items in. This is my extras category. Lots of stuff that you don't need, but I love. Let's start with this moving blanket. It's kind of small, but it's perfect again for me to have in the car because I'm constantly hauling stuff, or if I want to pick something off Facebook Marketplace, I've got this in the car. This one's really heavy duty. Also in the back, I always keep a first aid kit. Can you tell I was an RA in college? Does that surprise anyone? This one has like bandages and Neosporin and some scissors, which are really helpful in case of an emergency, some tweezers. I mean, it has really everything you need, and I love that it's so compact and small. And now I keep it in one of my little trunk cubbies. Also in must-have in my opinion is this tire pressure gadget. This is really, it's not an extra, it's something you really should have. I've had nothing but problems with the tires on this car. Instead of bending over at a gas station in the middle of who knows where to fill up your tire with air, might as well just bring the air with you. This is so convenient. It plugs into your cigarette lighter in the front. It's super fast, it's super easy to use, and I've probably used it 5 times. It's actually really affordable. I had this guy one time come up on me while I was bent over trying to put air in my tire, so we don't do that anymore. Also on the topic of safety, I drive with my car fully loaded, prepared for anything. And one of the things that I would highly recommend that you buy is I don't know if I can say the word without it getting flagged, but it's a handheld self-defense device. It also has a flashlight on it as well. It also charges by USB. I keep it in my car along with some other things that I keep in my car just for protection, because I did hear stories of people getting basically robbed at Tesla superchargers. This is also great to have just in life. This is another must-have in my opinion. This is a foldable laptop tray, and I do use it for my food videos that I do, but also to do work while I'm sitting at a supercharger. When the door is shut, it kind of fits perfectly here, so you really can put drinks and food and snacks. I like that this one is heavy duty. I don't know if this one still exists anymore, but I'll link some that are just as great down below. It does fold, it's super compactable, so I can slide it in a crevice somewhere. Next is my dog seat cover that I have not only in my Tesla, but also in our other car as well. It has storage compartments, but the best thing is it has this ventilated screen on it so that Benji can get airflow in the back. It loops over your car seats. It's just super handy. It also keeps the damage of the Tesla materials down because Benji's nails aren't scratching the seats. I think it makes it more comfortable for him to drive in. I also have to keep one of these portable vacuums in this car at all times. What I like about this one is that it has small attachment pieces that can really get into all the cracks and crevices. And with the food that I do for my videos and with the dog, and if we have kids in the future, I am sure that this is gonna be something I absolutely need in order to not be driving around in filth. Let's talk about charging for a second. If you are plugging your Tesla chargers into one of these orange drop cords, stop that immediately. I cannot tell you how dangerous it is to use these things because they melt so quickly and they can catch fire so easily. Instead, make sure you buy something that's heavy duty, waterproof, something that can withstand the heat and the damage of being outside. I also have to talk about these. These are a must-have for me. These are my little UV sun gloves. Because that car does get so much sunlight in there, I don't want my hands to age. Your hands show your age more than any other part of your body. So these actually go all the way up your arm. I do look a little funny when I drive in these, but I don't really care. They also have little grippies on them too that help you really grip the steering wheel. This way you can also deal with your phone, but I'm obsessed. They come in a 2-pack and they're really affordable and they have such high ratings. So it's not just me who loves them, and they're cute. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna link everything below. If you are in the market to buy a Tesla, you're considering it, I'll link my Tesla code down below. I would highly recommend though that you watch some of my other Tesla videos before you pull the trigger on buying a Tesla. But if you're already gonna do it, go ahead and use my code below. You might receive cash rewards or extra benefits if you do use it, and I might as well. And of course, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Did I miss any Tesla must-haves? And please share this video with anybody who you may know who is looking to upgrade their Tesla experience, because there are some of us out here who need some help loving this car because it wasn't love at first sight.